Most people would glance at a Sacagawea Golden Dollar and never think twice, but experienced collectors know that the smallest details can completely change how it's viewed. Let's take a closer look and uncover what makes certain authenticated examples so fascinating to the numismatic world. First coin. The 2000p Sacagawea Golden Dollar is one of those modern American coins that seems ordinary at first glance, yet the deeper you investigate it, the more surprising its story becomes. Millions of Americans handled these bright golden dollars without realizing they represented one of the most ambitious redesigns of U.S. circulating coinage in decades. Hidden beneath that familiar appearance are subtle differences in strike quality, preservation, production techniques, and even a handful of famous varieties that transformed certain examples into highly desirable collectibles. As this story unfolds, you'll discover why some authenticated specimens have sold for dramatically more than face value, what separates an ordinary circulation coin from an elite collector piece, and why professional grading, rarity, and market demand ultimately determine whether a seemingly common 2000p Sacagawea dollar deserves little attention or becomes a prized numismatic treasure. The origins of this coin reach back to the disappointing performance of the Susan B. Anthony dollar, which had struggled to gain public acceptance because many people confused it with the quarter. During the late 1990s, the United States searched for a more recognizable dollar coin that would encourage wider circulation while honoring an important figure in American history. Congress authorized an entirely new design, choosing Sacagawea, the young Shoshone woman who famously accompanied the Lewis and Clark expedition, as the central subject. Her selection reflected a growing desire to recognize Native American contributions to the nation's history while creating a coin with a distinctive golden appearance that would stand apart from every other circulating denomination. The first coins entered production in 1999 for release in 2000, marking the beginning of a new chapter in modern American coinage. Every 2000p Sacagawea dollar was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the small P mint mark positioned on the obverse beneath the date. Philadelphia produced well over 760 million circulation strikes, making this one of the highest mintage dollar coins in modern U.S. history. Such an enormous production figure might suggest unlimited availability, yet collectors understand that high mintage does not automatically translate into abundant premium quality survivors. The overwhelming majority of these coins quickly entered circulation, where contact marks, bag abrasions, scratches, and dulling of their original luster became almost unavoidable. Locating examples that still display pristine surfaces, exceptional eye appeal, and razor-sharp details more than 2 decades later is considerably more challenging than the original production numbers might imply. Although often called a golden dollar, this coin contains no gold whatsoever. Instead, the United States Mint developed a sophisticated manganese brass-clad composition consisting of a pure copper core surrounded by outer layers containing copper, zinc, manganese, and nickel. This alloy created the distinctive warm golden color while maintaining durability for circulation. Each coin weighs 8.1 grams, measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter, and features a smooth edge rather than the reeded edges found on quarters and dimes. The golden finish was intended to make the coin instantly recognizable in everyday commerce, although collectors quickly discovered that exposure to air, moisture, and circulation could gradually alter the original color. Depending on storage conditions, surviving examples may display bright golden surfaces, rich honey tones, subtle amber shades, or even deeper bronze coloration, with original mint luster remaining one of the most desirable characteristics among specialists. The artistry of the coin represents a significant departure from earlier circulating dollars. The obverse, designed by sculptor Glenna Goodacre, portrays Sacagawea carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back while gazing confidently toward the horizon. Rather than relying on a historical portrait, Goodacre created the image using a modern Shoshone woman, Randall Hedau Teton, as the model because no authenticated likeness of Sacagawea exists. The reverse, designed by Thomas D. Rogers SR, features a soaring eagle surrounded by 17 stars, symbolizing the number of states in the Union during the Lewis and Clark expedition. Together, the designs convey movement, exploration, courage, and national expansion, giving the coin a storytelling quality rarely seen in modern circulating currency. From a collector's perspective, the 2000p issue is especially fascinating because it produced one of the most famous modern U.S. mint varieties, the so-called Cheerios dollar. As part of a nationwide promotion, specially packaged Sacagawea dollars were inserted into boxes of Cheerios cereal before the official release of the coin. For years, collectors believed these were ordinary circulation strikes until researchers identified subtle but important differences in the eagle's tail feathers on the reverse. The enhanced feather details revealed that these promotional coins had been struck from an earlier reverse design before the mint modified the dies for regular production. Today, authenticated Cheerios dollars represent one of the greatest modern variety discoveries, with certified examples commanding remarkable premiums. Even so, only professionally authenticated specimens with the correct reverse qualify, and ordinary 2000p dollars should never be assumed to be this rare variety without expert examination. For most collectors, condition remains the single greatest factor influencing value. Because these coins were transporting in massive storage bags, even uncirculated examples often display numerous contact marks acquired before ever reaching the public. Professional grading services carefully evaluate surface preservation, strike sharpness, luster, eye appeal, and overall quality before assigning mint state grades ranging from MS60 through the elusive MS70. A typical uncirculated example may carry only a modest premium, while exceptionally preserved coins graded MS68 or higher become dramatically scarcer. In today's market, a beautifully certified high-grade example might bring around $1,350, while another displaying stronger eye appeal, cleaner fields, and superior luster could realize approximately $2,450 during a competitive auction. These results reflect not only numerical grade, but also collector confidence in independent authentication and certification. Strike quality presents another layer of complexity that experienced numismatists evaluate carefully. Despite the Philadelphia Mint's advanced production equipment, not every coin emerged with identical sharpness. Collectors frequently inspect the strands of Sacagawea's hair, the details of Jean-Baptiste's features, the eagle's breast feathers, wing contours, and the overall brilliance of the fields. Weak strikes can soften these details, while exceptional strikes reveal remarkable depth and texture that elevate a coin's visual appeal. Equally important is the originality of the surfaces. Cleaning, polishing, chemical dipping, or abrasive treatment can permanently reduce collector value, even if the coin appears brighter afterward. Authentication services routinely identify altered surfaces, making originality far more desirable than artificial shine. Proper storage in inert holders, low humidity environments, and careful handling only by the edges significantly improves the likelihood of preserving the coin's natural appearance for future generations. Modern counterfeits have also become increasingly sophisticated, making authentication more important than ever when significant money is involved. While counterfeiters often focus on rarer dates or precious metal coins, altered Sacagawea dollars occasionally appear with fabricated mint errors, manipulated surfaces, or false claims of being rare varieties. Collectors should verify the coin's weight, diameter, edge characteristics, color, magnetic properties, and design details before drawing conclusions about authenticity. Genuine examples exhibit consistent specifications and crisp design elements produced by official mint dies. Any coin believed to be a rare error, a Cheerios dollar, or an unusually high-grade survivor should be submitted to a respected third-party grading service. Authenticated examples provide confidence to buyers, improve market liquidity, and eliminate much of the uncertainty surrounding valuable modern issues. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of the 2000p Sacagawea Golden Dollar is how it transformed from an everyday circulating coin into a sophisticated field of study within modern American numismatics. While the overwhelming majority remain worth only modest premiums above face value, elite survivors tell an entirely different story. Certified examples approaching perfection, authenticated rare varieties, or extraordinary mint errors have achieved auction results exceeding $4,000 under the right market conditions, although those prices are reserved for exceptionally scarce and professionally verified pieces rather than ordinary circulation coins. That distinction is precisely what makes this issue so compelling. Its true value is never determined by the date alone, but by the combination of authenticity, preservation, rarity, grading, and collector demand. For serious numismatists, the 2000p Sacagawea dollar serves as a reminder that even a modern coin produced by the hundreds of millions can still contain hidden layers of rarity, history, and enduring fascination waiting to be recognized through careful research and expert evaluation. Next coin. The 2001p Sacagawea Golden Dollar has a reputation that quietly surprises even experienced collectors. At first glance, it appears to be another common modern coin that passed unnoticed through cash registers and vending machines across America. Yet closer examination reveals a remarkably complex story of history, craftsmanship, preservation, and collector demand. Over the years, specialists have learned that not every example survived in the same condition, and those differences have transformed certain authenticated pieces into highly sought-after collectibles. As this story unfolds, you'll discover why some examples stand far above ordinary circulation strikes, what professional graders look for when evaluating them, and how a combination of rarity, condition, originality, and market demand ultimately determines which coins become genuine numismatic standouts. By the time this coin entered circulation in 2001, the United States Mint had already completed the successful introduction of the new Sacagawea dollar the previous year. The series had been created to replace the Susan B. Anthony dollar with a design that was both visually distinctive and historically meaningful. Congress wanted a circulating dollar that Americans could immediately recognize, and the warm golden appearance achieved through its unique alloy helped distinguish it from quarters and other silver-colored coins. The nation itself was entering a period of significant transition. The technology boom of the late 1990s was beginning to slow. The economy showed increasing uncertainty, and later that year the events of September 11 would reshape the country in profound ways. Although the coin was designed before those historic events unfolded, the 2001p Sacagawea dollar became part of the everyday currency carried by millions of Americans during one of the most memorable years in modern U.S. history. Every 2001p Sacagawea dollar was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most important facilities in the nation's coinage system. The small P mint mark beneath the date identifies its origin, and Philadelphia struck approximately 62.5 million circulation pieces for this issue. That represented a dramatic reduction from the enormous production of the inaugural 2000 release, reflecting weaker public demand for dollar coins in circulation. While more than 60 million coins still sounds plentiful, collectors understand that the mintage alone tells only part of the story. Large numbers entered commercial channels, where repeated handling quickly introduced scratches, nicks, and abrasions. Others remained in government storage or were eventually distributed in bags and rolls, but relatively few escaped, with the exceptional preservation required to earn the highest mint state grades decades later. The coin itself demonstrates an impressive combination of engineering and artistic design. It weighs 8.1 grams, measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter, and features a smooth edge rather than a reeded one. Its golden appearance comes not from precious metal, but from a manganese brass-clad composition surrounding a pure copper core. The alloy includes copper, zinc, manganese, and nickel, creating a durable surface intended to withstand heavy circulation while maintaining a distinctive color. Freshly struck examples display brilliant golden luster with reflective cartwheel effects that move across the surfaces when tilted under light. As the years pass, exposure to air and environmental conditions often alters that appearance, producing shades ranging from bright yellow gold to warm amber or deeper bronze tones. Collectors generally prize coins that retain their original mint color and untouched surfaces, because originality is considered one of the most important indicators of long-term desirability. The artistry of the 2001 Sacagawea dollar reflects careful historical symbolism rather than simple portraiture. The obverse was created by sculptor Glenna Goodacre, who portrayed Sacagawea carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, while looking confidently toward the future. Because no authenticated historical portrait of Sacagawea exists, Goodacre worked with Randall Hedau Teton, a modern Shoshone woman, as the model for the design. The reverse, designed by Thomas D. Rogers SR, depicts a soaring eagle encircled by 17 stars, representing the number of states in the Union during the Lewis and Clark expedition. Together, the two sides celebrate exploration, courage, motherhood, and the role Native Americans played in one of the nation's defining journeys. Rather than focusing solely on political leaders, the coin tells a broader story about American history and cultural heritage, giving the series a distinctive place among modern United States coinage. As collectors began studying the 2001 issue more closely, they recognized that its appeal extended well beyond simple date collecting. Strike quality varies noticeably from coin to coin, even within unopened mint rolls. Some examples exhibit razor-sharp detail in Sacagawea's hair, Jean-Baptiste's facial features, and the eagle's feathers, while others display softer definition caused by normal die wear or lower striking pressure during production. Surface preservation presents an even greater challenge because the coins were transporting in large canvas bags, where constant contact produced countless tiny marks before they ever reached circulation. Professional grading services therefore examine not only the sharpness of the strike, but also luster, contact marks, eye appeal, and surface originality before assigning a mint state grade. A coin that appears flawless at first glance may receive a lower grade once magnified imperfections become visible under expert examination. Those grading differences have a profound impact on collector value. Most circulated examples remain readily available and command only modest premiums, while attractive uncirculated pieces are still affordable for many collectors assembling complete Sacagawea sets. The picture changes dramatically, however, once a coin reaches the highest certified grades. An authenticated mint state example, with exceptional eye appeal and minimal abrasions, may realize around $1,180 in today's collector market, while another certified at an even finer level, with superior luster and cleaner surfaces, can approach $2,760 when strong competition develops among advanced buyers. These figures are never guaranteed because prices fluctuate according to certification, market demand, originality, auction participation, and overall supply. The numerical grade on the holder is important, but experienced collectors also pay close attention to visual quality, making eye appeal a significant factor in determining the final selling price. Unlike the 2000 issue, the 2001 Sacagawea dollar is not associated with a famous major design variety comparable to the celebrated Cheerios dollar. Nevertheless, legitimate mint errors from this year do exist, although they are uncommon and must always be authenticated before being considered valuable. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, and occasional struck-through errors have all been documented within the Sacagawea series, including examples from 2001, but their rarity and desirability vary considerably from one specimen to another. Collectors should be cautious of exaggerated online claims suggesting that ordinary discoloration, minor scratches, or post-mint damage represent valuable errors. Professional authentication remains essential because genuine mint errors possess specific characteristics that distinguish them from damage occurring after the coin left the mint. Authentication has become increasingly important as the market for modern certified coins continues to mature. Although counterfeiters more commonly target classic key dates and precious metal coins, deceptive alterations and imitation grading holders occasionally appear in the marketplace. Buyers should verify the coin's weight, diameter, edge, color, and design details while purchasing certified examples only from respected grading services and reputable dealers. Original surfaces should display natural cartwheel luster without evidence of polishing, abrasive cleaning, or chemical treatment. Improper cleaning frequently leaves fine hairlines or unnatural brightness that permanently reduce collector value. Long-term preservation also requires careful storage in inert holders or archival quality capsules, avoiding excessive humidity, rapid temperature changes, and direct handling of the coin's surfaces. Even fingerprints can become permanent over time, making edge-only handling the preferred method for serious collectors. What ultimately gives the 2001 Sacagawea Golden Dollar its lasting appeal is not extraordinary rarity, but the fascinating relationship between mass production and exceptional survival. Tens of millions were struck, yet only a tiny fraction remain in elite condition with the pristine surfaces, booming luster, sharp strike, and superior eye appeal demanded by advanced collectors. Verified auction records demonstrate that premium prices are reserved exclusively for authenticated, top population examples or significant certified mint errors, rather than ordinary coins sharing the same date and mint mark. Some of the finest certified pieces have realized well above $3,500 when offered in competitive auctions, reflecting the scarcity of nearly perfect survivors rather than the overall availability of the issue itself. That distinction defines the entire story of the 2001 Sacagawea dollar. It stands as a reminder that modern coins can possess remarkable numismatic significance when history, preservation, professional grading, and informed collector demand converge to elevate a seemingly familiar piece of everyday American currency into an object of lasting historical and collectible importance. Next coin. At first glance, the 2000 Sacagawea Golden Dollar hardly seems like the kind of coin that would inspire intense debate among experienced collectors. It shares the same warm golden color, familiar portrait, and everyday appearance as millions of others that once passed unnoticed through cash drawers, vending machines, and bank rolls. Yet seasoned numismatists rarely dismiss it so quickly. They pause, tilted under the light, inspect the mint mark, study the texture of the surfaces, and search for details that most people never realize matter. That careful examination is where the real investigation begins. By the time we've finished exploring this coin together, you'll understand why certain authenticated examples command extraordinary attention, why preservation is everything, and how subtle differences separate an ordinary circulation piece from one that serious collectors eagerly pursue. To understand why this coin exists at all, it's necessary to step back into the closing years of the 20th century. The United States Mint wanted another chance to establish a circulating dollar coin after the Susan B. Anthony dollar failed to gain widespread acceptance. Too many Americans confused the earlier dollar with the quarter, limiting its use despite years of production. Lawmakers believed a new design with a distinctive golden appearance could finally change public habits while honoring an important historical figure whose story had rarely appeared on American currency. The result was the Sacagawea dollar, introduced for circulation in 2000. It represented more than a simple redesign. It reflected an effort to celebrate Native American history, improve the practicality of dollar coins in commerce, and create a modern series capable of serving everyday transactions while carrying genuine historical significance. Our investigation now shifts west to the Denver Mint, where the small D mint mark beneath the date quietly identifies this coin's birthplace. Denver struck approximately 518 million circulation-quality Sacagawea dollars in 2000, making it one of the largest production runs in the history of modern dollar coinage. At first, that number appears to eliminate any possibility of rarity. After all, hundreds of millions of coins should leave countless pristine survivors. Yet experienced collectors know production totals reveal only how many coins were made, not how many remain in exceptional condition decades later. Most examples entered circulation immediately or spent years stored in bags, rolls, and vaults, where repeated contact with neighboring coins left countless tiny marks. Today, locating one that still possesses remarkable originality becomes a far more challenging task than the original mintage might suggest. Holding the coin under proper lighting reveals another reason specialists spend so much time studying it. Although commonly called the golden dollar, it contains no actual gold. The United States Mint engineered a manganese brass-clad alloy consisting of outer layers containing copper, zinc, manganese, and nickel surrounding a pure copper core. This combination produced the unmistakable golden color while offering durability suitable for heavy circulation. The coin weighs exactly 8.1 grams, measures 26.5 millimeters across, and features a smooth edge rather than the reeded edge found on many other American denominations. Freshly struck pieces exhibit vibrant cartwheel luster that radiates across the surface as the coin moves beneath a light source. Over time, however, exposure to oxygen, moisture, and handling gradually changes that appearance. Collectors often encounter examples ranging from bright golden yellow to warm honey tones, amber shades, and even darker bronze coloration, with naturally aged surfaces generally preferred over artificially cleaned or altered ones. As our examination continues, the artistry begins revealing details easily overlooked during casual handling. Sculptor Glenna Goodacre designed the obverse, portraying Sacagawea carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, while looking confidently toward the distance. Because no authenticated portrait of Sacagawea survives, Goodacre based the image on Randall Hedau Teton, a contemporary Shoshone woman, creating a respectful interpretation rather than a claimed historical likeness. Turn the coin over, and the reverse, designed by Thomas D. Rogers, S.R., presents a soaring eagle surrounded by 17 stars, symbolizing the number of states in the Union during the Lewis and Clark expedition. Every design element reinforces themes of exploration, resilience, family, and national growth. Rather than simply decorating a circulating coin, the Mint attempted to tell a historical story that millions of Americans could carry in their pockets each day. Now the investigation becomes more technical because this is where experienced collectors begin separating average examples from exceptional ones. The first glance always falls on the date and the Denver Mint mark to confirm the issue. Next comes the strike quality. Specialists examine the strands of Sacagawea's hair, Jean-Baptiste's facial definition, the lettering, and the eagle's feathers for complete detail. A weak strike can soften these features, while a strong strike creates remarkable depth and texture. Surface condition follows immediately afterward. Since these coins were transporting in large canvas bags after striking, even coins that never circulated frequently display contact marks known as bag marks. Original mint luster, uninterrupted fields, clean cheek areas, and minimal abrasions dramatically improve a coin's desirability. Finally, overall eye appeal ties everything together. Two coins carrying the same technical grade may still inspire very different levels of collector interest because one simply looks more attractive under natural light. Professional grading services have transformed the market for modern coins like the 2000D Sacagawea dollar. Organizations such as the major third-party grading companies evaluate each submitted coin according to internationally recognized standards, assigning grades that range from heavily worn circulated examples through the highest mint state levels. The difference between MS65, MS67, and the elusive MS68 or finer may appear subtle to new collectors, but those tiny distinctions often reflect years of careful preservation and exceptional manufacturing quality. In today's market, a beautifully certified high-grade example might realize approximately $1,420 when offered to knowledgeable collectors, while another with superior strike quality, cleaner surfaces, and exceptional eye appeal has the potential to bring around $2,980. Those figures represent authenticated, certified coins in outstanding condition rather than ordinary pieces removed from circulation, illustrating why grading has become such a critical part of modern numismatics. No investigation would be complete without examining the possibility of varieties and mint errors. Yet this is also where caution becomes essential. The 2000D issue is not known for a major design variety comparable to the famous 2000P Cheerios dollar, and reliable research does not support many sensational internet claims surrounding supposed hidden rarities. Genuine mint errors from Denver certainly exist because every large production run generates occasional manufacturing mistakes. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and struck-through errors have all been documented within the Sacagawea series, including examples attributable to 2000D production. However, these errors remain genuinely uncommon and require professional authentication. Ordinary scratches, discoloration, environmental damage, or post-mint alterations are frequently misidentified as valuable errors by inexperienced sellers, making expert verification indispensable before assigning significant collector value. Authentication has become increasingly important as interest in modern collectible coins continues expanding worldwide. While counterfeiters traditionally focus on scarce 19th century issues and precious metal coins, deceptive replicas and altered examples occasionally appear within modern series as well. Experienced collectors begin by confirming the proper weight, diameter, edge style, metallic appearance, and overall design quality. They also inspect the mint mark for signs of alteration and examine the surfaces for unnatural polishing or abrasive cleaning. Genuine original luster flows smoothly across untouched mint surfaces, whereas cleaned coins often display unnatural brightness or fine parallel hairlines under magnification. Purchasing certified examples from reputable dealers substantially reduces risk, especially when larger sums are involved. Proper long-term preservation also matters because careless handling can permanently reduce future desirability. Holding the coin only by its edges, storing it in archival quality holders, and avoiding humid environments help preserve both color and surface integrity for decades. As we step back from the close examination, the larger story finally comes into focus. The 2000D Sacagawea Golden Dollar is not remarkable because every example is rare, nor because every coin carries extraordinary value. Its fascination comes from the challenge of identifying the small percentage that escaped years of handling with exceptional preservation intact. Those elite survivors, especially when professionally authenticated in the highest mint state grades or accompanied by legitimate mint errors, occasionally achieve auction results exceeding $3,500, but those outcomes belong only to verified examples meeting strict standards of rarity, originality, and condition. That distinction is precisely what drives collector demand. The investigation never ends with simply reading the date or spotting the mint mark. Instead, it continues through careful observation of strike quality, luster, color, preservation, authenticity, and historical context. In that process, the seemingly ordinary 2000D Sacagawea Golden Dollar reveals why it has earned lasting respect among modern American coin collectors and why every serious examination begins with curiosity rather than assumptions.